Greetings and welcome to this week's magical message. I pray that you all have had a wonderful week so far and you are really feeling excited about transforming some of the energies that have come to us this week. So with the overview, we are moving in a space where we're allowing for our mind, our emotions to come into a space of clarity. You're either pulling your head out of the clouds and grounding yourself, or you are allowing yourself to kind of vibrate higher, and you're allowing yourself to really move in a space of trust and faith and knowing that you have what you need, right? And in that, when you get to that space, you're going to have the clarity that's necessary to move forward. So either way, you're finding that you're balancing yourself out mentally and emotionally this week. Now, with the beginning of the week, we have Miss Robinson, and she really talks about, it can be that give and take energy, that karmic kind of energy. It can be the need to release and let go. It can be the need to, or not even the need, but it can be the experiences of receiving or getting what's due to you, right? So with this energy, you're going to have had things in the beginning of this week come to you, experiences that you have that really caused you to reach an ending point, right? You have completed something has come to a close, and you're moving forward in a new way, or have the opportunity to move forward in a new way. You're being asked to really move beyond certain fears and certain doubts and really trust yourself and trust the direction of your life, even if you find that maybe you have experienced more shadowed aspects of these energies. You want to take those things that you've gained and really allow yourself, especially as we move into the middle of the week with Dr. Grant, to really be in a space where you are accepting what those core truths are and allowing yourself at the same time to be open and not so locked down in it only being this one particular thing, but allow yourself to get clear on what it is that your truth is, right? And allow yourself to be in a space where you are really looking at how things are connected, how you came to manifest this moment right here, where you are examining your life, the things that you gained, the lessons that you learned, and where it is and how it is that you need to move forward based off of what it is that's needed and those first few steps to move forward. Sometimes when we get ready to make some kind of shift or some kind of change, we want to tackle everything at one time. But the thing is that is a huge burden to put on yourself. So instead, kind of refocus that energy and look at, okay, what are my next steps? What is it that I'm doing right here? Keeping in mind the bigger picture, but allow yourself to move with grace, right? So that you can make those next steps with some real attention to detail, right? Not a fixation, not an obsession, not perfectionism, just attention, right? So you're just giving attention to those details. You're looking at how things are interconnected. You are spending time connecting with yourself so that you can move in the frequencies that are required for you to elevate yourself in your life. Now, as we end the week, we are ending it with Nine of Knives. And this energy really gives us, it really brings to us a message of, by the end of the week, you are reaching, it's kind of like you're coming through a storm, right? And not that everything had been chaotic in your life, but the energies had come to a head. And so now it's time for them to take that turning point, right? Or to have that turning point. And so you're finding yourself either in a space where you now are looking forward to, you can see how things move forward. So there's a lot of hope there. There's a lot of faith there. There is a trusting that's present. You are having things come together in a way that allow you to feel celebratory and really ready to take those next steps, really excited and really clear on what those next steps are. And so you are going through that graduation period with those frequencies. Now, on the shadowed end, maybe this time was different. So I'm going to give the example of, like, with the beginning of the week with Miss Robinson. Maybe you have been confronted, or maybe you were outed on, things that you've done wrong. Maybe things came out. Maybe you realized some things about yourself that didn't really resonate in a, like, I am a person of integrity, or maybe you had things that came up that made it clear that maybe you've been lazy. Maybe you haven't done all that you've needed to do. Maybe you are lacking a great deal of self-love or self-respect. Well, however it is that these energies come up, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like the end of the world things that come out, but the things that come out, and not necessarily publicly, this could be publicly, but this is also about just things coming out to you, your awareness being brought to certain things that maybe they're not resonating at the place that you wanted them to be, right? But maybe, right, you took those moments, and instead of saying, okay, I noticed X, Y, and Z, so then my next thing is, let me get quiet, let me really sit with this, let me really digest it and see what I actually really need to take as gems from this. How do I kind of shift this energy and transform what I'm experiencing or who I'm being, so that those energies are not being kind of thrown into a like a cesspool of negative energy, right? So maybe during the middle of the week, instead of doing those things to uplift that energy, maybe you went into a really deep depression, right? And that's that throwing the things into a cesspool kind of thing. You start to feel defeated. You start to feel alone. You start to feel isolated. You start to feel as though things aren't okay, right? Or that they won't be okay, or that you are helpless, right? And so then by the end of the week, those things are just affirmed in bigger ways. They come up, they manifest in ways that for you would seem as though they just confirmed all of the negative stuff, or all of the shadowed stuff, right? The stuff that didn't resonate where you really wanted it to. Maybe you had a goal, that you wanted to meet, and maybe for whatever the reason, maybe you procrastinated. Maybe you didn't do what, you really could have done to meet that goal. And maybe that consequence that comes out is, hey, you got to put in what it is that you want to get out of this situation. And maybe instead of owning that and really accepting that, you wallowed in the loss. And then that is just confirmed by the end of the week. So this week really is of your making, which is why it's so important that you really dig into the mind and the emotions and allow yourself to be in a space where you are not allowing yourself to be moved too far one way or the other. Now, naturally, you're going to have experiences of both the shadow and the light from these energies this week. But the positive thing is that you have the ability to take all of those experiences and really allow them to be the thing that uplifts you and uplifts your self-belief, because the focus this week is on you, your mind, your emotions, and the elevation of your life. So that if you're going through maybe some more negative experiences this week, it's not the end of the world, but it is saying, okay, it's time to shift your world. It's time to believe in yourself again. It's time to get clear on how these things get created, how these things come together so that you can transform that experience. Okay? So I pray that you all got a really beautiful message from this. I pray that it is maybe for some people, the light in that dark tunnel, and maybe you just need to be able to hear a word that helps to trigger that inner strength and that trust and that faith in self. So my daughter is playing. So if you find yourself in the space, just recenter. It's just time to recenter and to reassess where your mind and your emotions are and what certain things mean to you, right? Because what things mean to you is all about your perspective, and your perspective can shift when you control and shift that mind and the emotions. So I love you all. I thank you for listening. If you all like to get a personal reading, you can get my information from the description below. Make sure that you like and subscribe so you can hear messages every single week. And I look forward to talking to you. Bye.